Hello YouTubers, this is shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, with yet another wrestling review. I'm of course joined by my friend and eternal minion, Joe. Say hi, Joe. He just had chicken. So it's Sunday, so you know what that means. It's pay-per-view time, and it's TNA's turn for a pay-per-view. Final Resolution, the last pay-per-view of the year. Now, I'll be doing a special one for this. It'll be split into two parts. One part will be examining the first like half of Impact, which is the better part, and the second part will be just the shit. But we'll get to that later. Let's get to the meat, the good stuff. So the pay-per-view opens with number one contenders match for the tag team titles between Beer Money and Ink Inc. This is a very good match. It was very well wrestled by both teams. I have to admit that I myself wasn't a really big fan of Ink Inc., but I see them now as a more legit tag team. I can see them as World Tag Team Champions at one point, but not right now. There was some miscommunication at first between Storm and Rude, but I think they were just doing that to make Ink Inc. seem more credible than they are. And it was a good tactic because it really made them look good. The end comes with Storm and Rude hitting the DWI, drinking while investing, thus earning them a title shot in the near future against the champions, whoever they may be tonight, which we'll get to that. It was a good opener. I enjoyed it. And it kind of set the tone for the rest of the matches coming up. Second match, knockout match. Surprisingly enough, not for the TNA Knockouts title. Madison Rayne is there, but just mostly to be a bitch. It's between Tara and Mickie James. Now, for the past couple of weeks, these two have been utterly waging a gutter war with each other, just beating the ever-loving piss out of each other. And as last week on Impact, Mike Tenay said the only way that these two can settle it, Falls Count Anywhere match. And that's what this was. And I enjoyed it. It was one of the... They just took advantage of the whole Falls Count Anywhere match. I mean, most of the times, they would, like, fight outside of the ring for a little bit, then bring it right back in, kind of defeating the purpose of a Falls Count Anywhere match. But this one, they just fought everywhere but the ring. They started outside of the ring. It was just that brutal. I mean, they just beat each other senseless. It was very well done. I mean, you don't even see divas do matches like this. Toward then the fight moves into the men's restroom, which is the first I've ever seen women actually go into a restroom for a match. And there were guys in there, I don't know if they were plants or just actual fans, who were just rushing out of the way because all of a sudden they're in the middle of a match. And there was even a guy on the crapper, and he had I think a magazine or something, and he just got up. I don't know if he wiped his ass or anything. He just got up, pulled his pants up, and just ran out. And then Taz says the funniest line of the night. He says, that guy didn't wash his hands. So true. So the end comes with Madison Rayne, who was hiding in one of the men's stalls. Take your pick on why she was in there. You can make the dirty jokes and assumptions on why the hell she was just in there. Well, she happened to have a fire extinguisher, which she lets off in Mickey's face, allowing Tara to pick up the win. 1, 2, 3. One of the best, if not the best, women's match of the year for TNA. It was very well done and had two very talented women in this match. Next match, X Division title. Robbie E defends against Jay Lethal with the stipulation that Cookie, Robbie E's girlfriend, be suspended above the ring in a steel shark cage. Now, Cookie had made it abundantly clear that she did not want to be in the shark cage. This from a woman who was willing to pick a fight with someone from the Jersey Shore. Yeah, you're so tough, Cookie. Well, anyway, as the match starts to get on the way, Cookie starts to leave, saying that she won't get in the shark cage. Then, give me a shell, yeah. Stone Cold Shark Boy makes his triumphant return and throws Cookie right back into the shark cage. Match starts, and while I hate Robbie E's gimmick, I like his in-ring style. He is very good, and he works very well with Jay Lethal. I can see a lot. I wish I could see more of these two without any undue interference. I want to see them have a nice, clean match. But the end comes with Cookie throwing something to Robbie E, like a steel chain or something, and Earl Hebner takes it. Then Cookie throws something else, like a can of aerosol spray or something at him. But Jay Lethal grabs the can and uses it on Robbie E, blinding him. But little does he know, Earl Hebner saw the whole thing. Jay hits his finishing maneuver, goes for the pin, the bell rings, but he's horrified to learn that Earl Hebner has disqualified him. Thus, Robbie E retains. Jay leaves the ring wondering how the fuck this could happen. Robbie E's on the floor outside, blind as fuck. And Cookie is inside the ring parading around with the X Division title like she won it. Thankfully, Shark Boy came out. She gets in his face, slaps him a couple of times, and then Shark Boy, being Shark Boy, gives her the cold fish stunner. Verdict: I like the match. I hated the finish. But it's good to see Shark Boy back. Next match. TNA television title between AJ Styles and Douglas Williams. I had high hopes for this match, and they were exceeded. This was by far one of the best singles matches of the night, if not the year. It was an amazing display by two of the best wrestlers the company has to offer. I thought Douglas Williams was good. This is even better. This just shows you the level of athlete that not only AJ Styles but Douglas Williams is at. I mean, Douglas Williams even hits a helo. When's the last time you ever see him hit a helo? And he hit it perfectly. The finish comes when they roll outside the ring and Douglas does his chaos theory outside the ring. I mean, that was awesome. That move is awesome to look at in the ring. It was even better outside the ring. AJ struggles and gets back into the ring, and Douglas, being the English prick that he is, says, "You know what? I'm gonna finish you off with your own move." So he hits the Styles Clash and beats AJ 1, 2, 3, and is now your new television champion. This match really elevated that belt more than I thought it would. It gave it a little bit more prestige now that it's finally changed hands to someone who's capable of defending it properly. So I'm looking forward to a rematch. The next match, Motor City Machine Guns defend against Generation Me, aka the Young Bucks, in a Full Metal Mayhem match, TLC to everyone else. And this was a very heated match. If you saw these guys battle in that empty arena match the other week, then you know it was going to be a vicious battle. And this does not disappoint. I'm looking at you, WWE. You had a lot to live up to for TLC coming next week, because these boys tore the fucking house down. They were doing shit that I never saw in a TLC match done before. And they didn't so much go for the titles a lot, more so than they just spent most of the time beating each other up in new, more innovative, and more violent ways. At one point, the Guns were able to make a scaffolding with two ladders and a table, and Sabin and Max Buck got on top, and they were both on top of this table on top of ladders with steel chairs, and then they started sword fighting with the chairs, and Sabin gets the better exchange, and Max goes flying off, and Sabin grabs the belts, and the Guns retain. This was an awesome match, candidate for match of the year. The Guns haven't had a bad pay-per-view match yet, and this is one of the better matches I've ever seen between the Guns and the Bucks. And what makes it even better is that now that they've retained the titles, we're gonna have Beer Money, Motor City Machine Guns one more time for the belts, and I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of that. So this is my first video, and if you watched in the first match to the tag team match, then you and just stop watching, then you would be happy. It would be the perfect pay-per-view for you. But if you like myself decide to see the last 3 matches, then it will leave a terrible, terrible taste in your mouth that you will want to blow your brains out just to get rid of. And I will review that in my next video coming up. So, see you then.